you got this job, 35 years old, working your whole career probably to be a head coach with that goal. What was going through your mind when you got that call officially offering you the job?
You know, you never think that your first job as a head coach could also be your last job as a head coach, right? And for me, it's just, you know, the excitement of knowing, like, no, this is a top 10 team. This is like the best of the best. And blessed and fortunate, I've been around a lot of great coaches. I've got to work for a lot of great coaches, but for this to be my first opportunity, you know, I'm pretty lucky to be in this set.
Yeah. What was it about, you know, when they offered the job? I'm sure there are a lot of opportunities that came up over the last few years. You were becoming a big name in college football. What was it about this place from an alignment standpoint, or just knowing, like you said, that this could be a last job that made this the place you wanted to take?
Yeah, I think, you know, innovation. When I think of Oregon, I think of innovation, right? I think about being on the cutting edge. And as you know, college football has changed so much in the last 3 years. Last 10 years, that I always felt like they were going to be ahead of the curve, right? They were always going to have a plan for what's next, how do you adapt? And I remember being a GA at Arizona State, and we played against Marcus Mariota in Oregon, and what that meant. You know, my first time ever being here was when I landed here on the plane. I'd never been here, but I knew from afar, like, that's, you know, what Oregon was and was to become. And then when you figure out the support that exists for the program, the alignment with the administration, like the narrow, you know, single vision of where it's headed, like everything kind of, every box checked. And then maybe most important for me is I want to be somewhere where I was excited to raise my family. And, you know, you move a bunch as a coach. So getting to be somewhere you can say, I can be here for forever, like that's what made this place check.
Take me through the process of, once you get the job, first time head coach, all the things, that's what the fans don't always realize, like the whirlwind of trying to retain the roster, trying to hire staff, trying to figure out, like, who's committed, who's not. Like, what was that like the first, 48, 72 week on the job?
Yeah, you're drinking out of a fire hose. Like, it's nonstop. And for me, at least, I don't know if you remember this or not, but I accepted the job, but I was at Georgia, and we were about to go play in the Orange Bowl against Michigan. You know, I wanted to, you know, finish the job. And that was one thing I was really grateful for our administration, to give me the opportunity to still finish, you know, the job there at Georgia. So, you know, I flew out here, accepted the job, kind of did a press conference, and I turned around and flew back. I met with as many players as I could, you know, in 24 hours. And then you're really working the phone. So I would get up and do Georgia from, you know, 5 or 6 a.m. in the morning till 6 at night, getting ready for the Orange Bowl and the national championship game. And then 6 at night, well, it was, you know, it's only 3 o'clock out here. So I'd start working on Oregon. And we did, you know, Zooms. I really had an idea, you know, ever since I was a GA in 2012 at Arizona State, I started making a list of potential coaching hires. I have it saved in my phone. It's like every elite coach I've ever been around, like, oh, that's a guy I'd want to hire. You know, the difference is I thought I'd be hiring at Eastgate Middle School, right? But when you get to Oregon, you can go hire anyone you want. So that list, that's really where it started. I hired a lot of guys off that list, and there was a couple positions I wanted to, you know, figure out, you know, some pieces. But, you know, retention's really, you know, that's hard to figure out. Now, we've had a lot of roster turnover, you know, but that's also the reality now of college sports. So you have to hire great people around you that have the same vision as you and understand exactly what you're looking for to accomplish what you need to in that, you know, those first 48 weeks.
You just mentioned preparing from the time you were a GA to when you're going to be in those shoes, making those hires. What was the one thing that, when you became a head coach, that maybe, I don't want to say you weren't prepared for, but that surprised you, or that you were like, man, you can only prepare so much until you're actually in the shoes? What was that one thing that?
For me, it's time, right? There's the things you fell in love doing, you know, the things you fell in love doing as a coach. Like, I always loved, you know, coordinate a defense. I always loved watching film and prep. But what you realize once you become the head coach is, as soon as you walk in the building, somebody's knocking at your door saying, hey, coach, how do you want this done? How do you want that done? And you learn to really appreciate people that take the bull by the horns and figure it out. And sometimes it's not done exactly how you want it, but you appreciate the fact that they made the effort to do that. But managing your time is by far the biggest piece, because it's not your time anymore. It's everybody else's time.
Was there anything when you got here that you noticed around the program, or anything from personnel, facility, that you wanted to fix right away, or you wanted to change right away?
There were some things we really wanted to attack, you know, and I'm grateful again that here they were willing to, you know, make some, you know, some changes, right? We went to go hire the absolute best of the best. There weren't really, you know, limitations when it came to that. We knew we wanted to enhance our nutrition program, and that's really gone to another level. the innovation of us building new facilities as we move forward. We have some new projects that we're, piecing together that I think puts us, again, at the cutting edge and at the lead in college football.